Hello, everyone, and welcome to Salty Sweet Games. Welcome to another episode of Against the Stars, our Burn Bryte campaign, presented with Roll20. Super excited to be back here for another adventure out in the Olaxis Galaxy. But before we do that, let's go through some channel stuff and then go see our lovely people around with all who are hanging out with me tonight. So, channel things. Let's see if I don't forget anything this
You're
time.
gonna nail it. I support
I,
you.
yep, I don't have my sticky note, but we're going.
Just
First
memorize
off,
it.
like it's easy,
Yes.
which is I'm saying you're amazing, Lauren. Anyways, let's go. First
Oh,
off,
he looks
our
like space right now.
oh my god, that's amazing.
It's
Uh,
actually an eldritch horror.
hell yeah.
Sorry.
Uh, no worries. First off, want to give a shout out to our wonderful co-producers, our co-presenters, our sponsor, Roll20. They are a what are they, Lauren?
A
What are they?
virtual tabletop of choice!
We cannot be doing this series without them, both because they are supporting the channel and the show, and also because they publish out Burn Bryte. So please go check them out and go check out Burn Bryte over on the marketplace if you want to try that out for yourself. And also, we're going to be having a giveaway of the Burn Bryte core stuff today
Yes.
because we
I
had some
remember things.
really awesome people who helped donate to our things,
Yes.
which I'll come back to in a second. But we want to give a shout out to our other sponsors. That includes Dice Envy. If you like your physical dice, your big clacks, your big boys, your chunky boys. There we go. That's I was like, my brain was like, I was circling around it. Your chunky boys, and you want them. Dice Envy got you. And they have them in plastic, metal, wood, and gemstone. And they pretty much put in new stock basically every couple of weeks. They've got their dragon
Yes.
line coming out.
Yes.
Recently, they had their Dragon Dew
It's
one,
like
which
Mountain
is
Dew, but dragon.
yeah, it's like green and yellow sparkles in a metal thing. It is incredible, and I
I need
love
to
it
look it
with
up.
all my heart. It's
I gotta
hilarious.
find it right now.
Please do. So please go check them out, and you can use the code Salty Sweet, all caps one word, to get 10% off your purchase and help us out over here. And the other sponsor I'd like to give a shout out to is Grand Coffee Co. They are Black and LGBTQ plus owned coffee company. All of their stuff is organic or otherwise fairly sourced. Part of their proceeds go to charity. They've got like so many flavors now. They added like 10
Mm-hmm.
recently, which is incredible. And they have a subscription service as well. So if you just want to get a whole bunch of cool coffee every month, go check that out. And of course, use the code Salty Sweet Games, all cap one word, to get 15% off of your order. Um, because this is a Roll20 sponsored show and this is a Roll20 produced show, we don't take donations as we normally do for Salty Sweet Games. However, we are raising money alongside Roll20 for Code 2040, which is an awesome nonprofit that helps Black and Latinx companies and communities get the technology they need to do their advocacy and their work. We're super excited to be partnering them for that. And you can check out the link down below and in that chat right now to see how you can donate. And at every $50 that is raised, I will be adding a complication to the story. We got to see that last week, which was great. Lots of complications there. And every $100, we get to give away a copy of the Burn Bryte starter set, which includes the core rules as well as a whole bunch of really awesome assets, which you'll actually see on the stream. So if you see any of the map stuff or any of that, that all comes in with that Burn Bryte thing. So thank you very much, everyone who donated. We actually hit our goal last week, I think. So
Yes.
we're gonna be pushing back there. I'm very excited for that.
And the giveaway is open.
Yeah,
Do it.
so please go enter that right now. As well, we also have a social goal going on right now. So basically, as part of our Burn Bryte campaign thing, if we hit 15 retweets of a promo tweet, then we unlock a weekly poll that gets you, the viewers, to decide which faction gets to move forward in their schemes in the Olaxis Galaxy. We've seen the Daylight previously.
That
And
was
we've
super chill.
Yeah, super chill, super fine,
Yeah.
awesome stuff. And we've got a few more things in the works. I've got a couple of factions that are moving their way in, and maybe we'll see some of them today. Who knows?
No.
Who knows?
No.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyways, last but not least, we here at Salt Sweet Games use safety tools. Because no matter what happens to the characters, no matter what scenarios we are in, we want to make sure that the players are having fun and enjoying their time here at the table. You also note that you can check out !CW to check out our content warnings for the episode, which are important for you to know. Yeah, I think that's all. I've done a lot of talking. So let's go around and go see our wonderful people today. Tell us who they are, who they're playing, all that good stuff. Let's first go over to my best friend, Lauren.
It's me! Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm that salty ginger over on Twitter. I use she, her pronouns, as does my character, Valla, who sounds like I'm doing a bad Chekhov from Star Trek impression, and I have no regrets. She's an Olron. She is made of crystal. She glows. It's great.
She's also a bit of a disaster.
That's so rude. It's so rude that you would even say that.
Telling the truth here.
Well, that's it. I'm done. I completed my story path, and now I'm on a new one.
Hell yay! All right, and let's go over to Jess. Hello, Jess.
Find the unmute button. Hi,
Hey!
I'm Jess. I use she and they pronouns, and on this wonderful, awesome show, I play Wallahlah. Not just Wallahlah. Wallahlah Oodles needs a last lemo. A glean, obviously. You can tell by my beautiful glean name. They use they, them pronouns. They really, really like everyone on this ship, but don't always know what's going on. But you know, if there's science to be had, they'll get to the bottom of that at least. So, yeah.
Yay!
Yay! All right, and let's go over to Sam. Hello, Sam.
Hey, I'm Sam. Hold on, Sam.exe is stopped responding.
Drink your coffee. Join
I'm drinking
me.
it so quickly.
It's okay.
I don't know if does that help it absorb faster?
No. I'm Sam. You can find me at Sam on Damield. My pronouns are they or she. Today I'm playing Vandil. I'm not gonna say Vandil's whole name because it's very, very long. And Eno in a three-piece suit whose pronouns are they or Z. And when we last left off, I got a call from my mom, and I'm not happy about it.
Ring, ring.
Honestly, it's just panic attack cat. That's where we're at.
Isn't that how everybody is when their mom calls them after it's been a long time?
Oh, yeah. Honestly, sometimes it could just be 5 minutes. I'm like, oh god, what did I do?
What did I do?
Vandal knows what they did this time, though.
Good.
You know, like I said in the tweets before, like even in the depths of space, your parents will still ask you, "Why haven't you called recently? It's been so long."
It's been a long time. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be fun.
I'm really excited about that.
And let's go over to B. Hello, B.
Hello, my name is B. You can find me on Twitter as @B_Zelda. My pronouns are they, them. As are the wonderful character that I'm playing that happened to be 1,000 bugs in the shape of 100,000, excuse me. I am many bugs. I am a lot.
You're so many bugs.
So many. And they all have names. And we are condensed into the shape of a wallaby. And we run this ship, the Wicked Wallaby.
I think that's pretty solid. I think that's all we need to know about that. All right, and I am Kienna. I use she, they pronouns, and I am your GM for today. I play everything else that exists within the Olaxis Galaxy, and I am the consequences of their actions. So
we don't know you.
All right, let's do a quick recap to go over what happened last time before we delve into this episode. Uh, Last time, unfortunately, our crew came across the Daylight, which is a cult that they have a particular history with. That history being having stolen an important artifact from the Daylight.
It didn't really belong. We didn't feel like it truly belonged to them. This was a selfless act that we happened to get some monetary gain from.
Mm.
Yeah, super normal.
Yeah.
We prefer liberated.
Mm.
Liberated it from them.
You liberated a
So we're heroes.
yeah, you liberated a
Thieves.
sacrificial object of great importance to a cult
Mm.
and sold it for money.
Normal.
Anyways, you
Liberated.
are being chased by a couple of the ships belonging to the Daylight, who seem to have remembered you in some capacity as they chase you into space. However, with some real good teamwork across the board, including Valla's good piloting, Wallahllah's and Vandil's tinkering, and Zev'xo's shooting with the big turrets of the ship, they managed to get away from the Daylight. In the quiet aftermath of that, various conversations were had across the ship and across its shipmates, and Valla
Mm.
made some decisions
Mm.
with a particular object that the crew had been entrusted with by someone on the planet they had just escaped from, who had asked them to take this teleportation device and bring it to a member of an overguild in order to pay off of her debts. Which, it's some pretty serious business. But Valla has some bad feelings about giving a teleportation device to a overguild leader. And so, in a fit of passionate morality,
Accurate.
in the secret cargo hold, she hacked it up into pieces. After a bit of panicking, however, Zev'xo took it as an opportunity to make more money, be able to sell off all of the different parts rather than bringing it back to the person they were supposed to give it to again help pay off someone else's debts so that they can get off the planet that's about to be eaten up by the burn. No big deal. In the meantime, Wallahlah had been exploring with her fun little new artifact that she had discovered on a previous expedition, and discovered that it has interesting powers, particularly the powers of being able to hear, or rather, basically turn into a speaker of other people's thoughts.
But do they know that yet? Do they understand truly that?
We'll see. And we ended off last episode with a call coming in to the Wicked Wallaby, and a call specifically for Vandil. And Vandil picked up, and what do you know? It was their mom. And, I'm gonna start today's episode with that moment where Vandil hears their mother asking, "Now, where have you been?"
Mom, I told you that I was leaving. And you didn't seem to realize what I meant by that.
I just thought you were going to go on, I don't know, one of your small little trips or whatever. I didn't expect it to be, what, it's been how long now?
A year, give or take?
A whole year, and you didn't even think about contacting me?
I've been busy.
Busy doing what?
Saving people. Being a hero. at the end of the world. Fine. It's not important.
I think you hear like very like tinkly laughter from your mom at this. Not quite believing you.
It's fair.
Right, of course. Anyways, I actually wasn't really expecting to be contacting you this way. I'm actually on a trip out here. This interesting ship. You know, thought I'd get off of the planet for a little bit, do a little vacation. And what do you know? The captain told me that they picked up a signal and it matched up with some records.
I have a lot of questions about that, but maybe now's not the time. How's your vacation going?
Oh, it's been lovely. And I think now you can sort of hear in the background there's like music going on. There's kind of low pulsey music that you do recognize, similar to the types of music that would be back on your home planet. Is particularly in more like the higher end bars or clubs and the such that rhythm to it, and the sounds of voices in the background.
Right, my parents are on a pleasure cruise.
Mm-hmm.
At a space rave or whatever.
Space rave. Definitely.
I mean, let's be
space
real.
rave.
It's probably like a swingers party, but for cats. Like, excuse me.
You know?
That's fine.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
know?
yeah. I'm mad that you said that because my brain was like, swingers for sure. And then you said it and that made it real? How things get to be canon.
Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm. We know this about your mother. It's been brought up.
Right, cool. Well, I don't want to hold you, Mom. I'm gonna get back to all that cool shit I've been doing.
Listen, you should come visit. I mean, I'm sure I could tell the captain that they'd be totally fine with having another visitor. I'm assuming you're not by yourself doing this hero stuff.
No, I have a really cool crew.
You hear a crash in the distance.
Listen, I'm sure they'd be welcome on as well. You know how welcoming everyone is here.
Yeah, I think I do. You know what? I don't rule by fiat on this ship, so I have to talk to my super cool crew. And I guess I'll get back to you on that.
All right, well, I suppose I'll just give the coordinates to your ship and hopefully we can cross paths. It'll be nice.
Yeah. Well, you have fun. Give my regards also to Dad.
I'll talk to you soon. And there's a click. And then I think you hear Max go, well, I do believe I am receiving some coordinates.
Cool. Yeah, I guess hold on to those. Just in case. There is some record that I'm on board this ship, and that makes me really nervous, Max.
Oh. Well, hopefully it is not attached to any of the criminal activity that has occurred on this ship or out of it in relation to this crew.
That's exactly why I'm concerned, Max.
Oh.
Glad we're on the same page. I need to go have a lie down. And maybe also tell everyone what just happened.
I believe everyone else is meeting in the lounge right now. It appears that they have come up with a solution for the interesting artifact you have all brought here.
Artifact?
I believe you have all been calling it some form of teleportation device.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Gosh. Okay. Cool. I'll join them in the lounge. Thank you for your time, Max.
Yeah, Max just kind of cuts off. They're not really one for like niceties or anything for ending a conversation. It's just conversation's done, we're done.
Perfect. That's fine.
All right, so you can meet up with Valla and Zev'xo, who are heading to the lounge. Valla looks a bit having a time. She's what is Vala's general expression here, considering that she just kind of got accidentally bailed out?
Relief, gratitude to some higher being that I don't believe in or worship, but you. Lots of relief. So if it, I don't know how Orons sweat, if it just looks like they're shinier than usual.
Yeah.
That's probably what's going on.
There's not like a little like dink 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 as tiny crystals.
Tiny little crystals fall up. Only if it gets really bad. Like, only if it gets to the point where, like, you know.
You wave an armpit and it just rains. Yeah. Yeah, you're not there yet, though.
Not there yet. Not
We've
there
all been
yet.
there. It's fine.
Totally.
I mean, Zev'xo is buzzing with joy. You have just created a possibility that we can profit more. We have weapons to restock. We need more power. Did you see? We saw what happened with that power cell, and we need more. More power, more safety.
I agree wholeheartedly, Captain.
So, how's it going?
We welcome you. We haven't seen you in some time. We wonder, how are you?
My mother called?
Do we celebrate or do we mourn?
Vala's eyes are like big and just like pulsing with light.
To be determined. She and my dad are on a pleasure cruise. Not close, but not too far. Max has the coordinates. And found the captain informed her that there was a ship in range of their sensors, and the records matched one I had been on, and that's how she called. That's concerned first. We're invited to go visit the ship, and so my parents can see me.
Will we receive compensation for having you?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
Pleasure cruise could be fun, Captain. Maybe we meet right people there.
We could use somebody to clean the ship, and we would like to look pointedly at wherever Max is. Max doesn't clean. We never programmed it. We don't know how to.
Max just said, I do not have the mechanisms to physically interact with your space. I am within the meta space of MI space.
We still believe you could clean.
You really put your mind to it.
If you just try hard enough.
Zev'xo really believes that Max is just holding out on them.
We already have a tenuous relationship, so... Vandil, we would like to address your name aboard this ship. It has only been for docking purposes. We would not want any of our names associated with any of the more profitable trips that we make. Our names only exist in docking ports. Does that ease you? You do not look eased. We wonder why.
I just, we've been on a lot of very sketchy places, Captain.
We have traveled.
A person could reasonably assume that we were there for sketchy reasons.
You know what
We
they
have
say
argued.
about assuming.
You get arrested anyway?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Mm-hmm. We
Yes.
agree. That's the one.
Da.
Yeah, so, question A. What are we gonna have? We've come to a decision on the,
Oh. We and from our belly will pull out like a chunk of the broken
Okay.
transporter.
Pull out a chunk.
This is like the smaller chunks of them, you know? I can only fit so much in here. I only have like 15 weapons. It's not too much.
there's not much space for other activities. It's fine.
So I pull out this reasonably sized piece of that, what was it called before transporter? There was a really good word that Kienna used. Artifact?
Artifact.
Yes. And I'll hold it up to you, Vandil. We will sell this and we will profit. We will sell others and we will also profit. We better the world because we believe no one will be able to solve this and we profit. Also, we can buy better sensors. That helps our safety.
Fella, how do you feel about that?
How do I feel about it? Oh, I think Captain is brilliant. Captain is very, very good at making calls that benefit entire crew, and don't have any immediately foreseeable negative repercussions to entire galaxy. So I think this is good idea.
Awesome. Wallahlah?
Is this like when they just kind of like float along?
Yeah, well, you can probably hear everyone else having conversation now, which kind of overlaps with the speaker situation that's happening with your object because you still have the plasma cell connected to it.
Ooh.
You're muted.
No.
Sorry, yeah, I said yeah. I was touching with the plasma. Hack.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what I would hear.
I mean,
Okay, I guess I like
thoughts are-
float. I'm gonna try and float over there and be like, hi everyone, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have a question because I could hear you all talking, but also I don't know if you remember that thing that I brought on this ship. It also had your voices inside it. And like I point at Valla and like, and you were really relieved about something, and Zev'xo, you were excited about money, and Vandil, your mom called. What happened? What, you are not very. Is this accurate? Because it's talking like all of you, but I don't understand. Because Valla says we've all bondaged, but I don't understand entirely if we've bondaged enough for me to understand all these things.
Well, have
What
you
did
been?
tell Wallahlah?
Listen, this is a different conversation. Well, were you perhaps messing with the intercoms of the ship and?
Well, no, okay. I need you to. This is what's very interesting. I was analyzing me and Cam, and like my little camera with googly eyes is floating around. Like me and Cam were doing some research, and we were investigating how the object would react to different things. And when I gave it some plasma, it suddenly started communicating. But it seemed like it was you all saying other things from what you, because I could hear you saying things, but then I could hear you saying things? Does that make sense to anyone? As if you would say something different than you would say elsewhere?
We present our concerns.
Is that?
I mean, I have like a constant inner monologue going, just like all the time recounting my adventures and my escapades. So maybe that is what you were hearing.
How is that even possible?
Are you saying that? Because I'm confused, as if it was like that was my first thought too, Valla, is that it was a communication device, but then you were you said you were monologuing? You were speaking somewhere else than you were speaking.
Yes,
and that's what was.
Perhaps. I did.
You're theorizing that the object can read minds?
Yes, this is the scientific theory
I
that I posit. Oh, I'm a genius. It's.
Wait, I need each of you to tell me what you're thinking so that I can test out this theory.
Banana pudding, banana pudding, banana pudding, banana pudding.
I go over and I touch the thing with plasma.
Are you thinking really hard about banana pudding?
Yes, I don't know what it is. I think I read about it somewhere. So I'm picturing pudding that's banana shaped.
There's like a banana sticking out.
It's just like wobbling.
Yeah.
What's banana pudding?
Oh my!
We wonder that is that true? Do us next.
Do Zev'xo.
We will think about upgrading Max so that they can clean. Upgrade Max. We want to upgrade Max.
I think if the doors open in the to like your crew quarters and everything, the rest of you can hear Zev'xo's voice coming from inside Wallahllah's room.
And like it's an echo of my we are a lot of voices, so it's
Yeah.
probably the loudest and the most disjointed.
Yeah, it'd be so discordant.
We present our fears.
I think from the sphere you hear just like Vandil's inner monologue go, "This is the worst thing that has ever happened to me."
What is the worst thing that has ever happened to you, Vandil?
I don't like this. I don't like this. And I don't.
Wait, everyone! I will stop. I can like take the plasma off it. Okay. It only does it when it has plasma.
We're gonna have to have.
This is wonderful. Vandil, no, think. If we meet with your, the version of you that you came from,
Your lineage,
could-
your biological ancestry.
Mother.
hive,
Mother.
queen,
Not queen. No.
your queen-like figure. We believe that
Acceptable.
if we could utilize that item, that we might yet receive some assistance monetarily for your stay here.
I mean, it would make it probably easier to rob people, but it seems kind of loud.
We wonder what the range is.
We need to have a discussion about boundaries, I think.
We don't understand. Wallahlah?
I also do not understand. This was not my first assumption as to what was occurring, but now it seems to have been proven to be factually accurate, so...
My hypothesis was proved correct. You're welcome when you write out everything you know. Credit Valla Salabralta.
Oh, of course, I've already been taking extensive notes, and while we've been talking, some of my arms are over, like, tapping on my smart
From
slab.
the Marthong system, daughter of so-and-so, etc., etc. Great. Good.
Interpersonal boundaries, right?
Oh, yes.
What are those?
Wait, is the thing still going?
No, I took it off.
Dang
Took
it.
off.
So, normally a person's thoughts are their own. Zev'xo's belongs to Zev'xo.
We share our thoughts, though, and if we have a new member, we will share our thoughts with them.
Yeah, but, like, not Valla.
What? What are you thinking? This captain
Valla's
shares.
not part of your hive.
We would fit them in if they wanted. We are more than welcome to grow the hive.
Oh. I've
We've never really asked.
No, I never thought
Sweet.
about it, Captain. That is very, very sweet.
This is why we struggle with these boundaries. We believe that thoughts are meant to be shared.
Okay, this could be a cultural difference. Because generally, my people don't have like a mind-to-mind connection with each other. So the things that happen in our mind stay there unless we choose
Right.
to have them come out.
I've been
right?
trying to forge a kind of mental connection with Vandil for a very long time now, and it's slow going, but maybe because I'm not telepathic.
But don't you see, wouldn't that be far more efficient though, Vandal and Valla? If we, if you you wouldn't even need to take the time to, in your normal forms, you must inhale oxygen to put them into your lungs to then exhale it out with the effort to exhibit words. In this case, you just need to think them.
We agree.
I try to choose the words that I say very carefully.
Ah, what's that like?
I talk a lot less.
Huh. Interesting.
I've always thought of Vandal's approach like talk less, but look really, really good doing it. I'm trying to share my thoughts aloud. Is this working? Is this appropriate?
I
We think
appreciate
so.
the compliment.
You're welcome.
Wallahla's slowly moving closer to Vandal. It's just like, are you thinking things right now?
Yes?
Things you would not normally share out loud?
Yes?
Could you just not think when I'm testing the object?
Wallahlah, how often
Yes?
do you think?
Constantly, and I would love to share my thoughts all of the time, but I've been told that I shouldn't do that.
We would
How
call that-
easy is it for you to not think?
It's not easy, but I wouldn't mind if anyone wanted to get some more of my thoughts. I'd be happy to share them.
I'm gonna make a mental note to have more conversations with you. Where you just get to tell me about your thoughts, because that seems very important to you. But
Wow.
you see, having that conversation would be like we both decide jointly that we're going to have that conversation at a time that's good for it, not just like a spray and pray approach to thoughts, right?
Spray and pray. Is that something to do with the daylight cult?
No, it's like when you have guns and you just lay down like fire and hope it hits somebody.
That really
We are
sounds
familiar.
like the daylight cult, but okay. All right.
It's not specific. I see your point.
All right, okay. Would it be... I would like to test the object, but I don't have to test it all the time. Would it be all right if I told you when I was testing it? Or we could test to see what kind of anti-objects we could make to stop the thoughts from getting out of your head. And
We are
I start getting
curious about
closer to you
this.
again.
Both of these are good. I would prefer if you told me so that I knew that my thoughts are being surveilled in a way, and then I can just be more circumspect in what I'm thinking. Because, Wallahlah, sometimes you have a thought, but if you said it to someone, it might hurt their feelings, right?
Oh yeah,
Zev'xo
of course.
looks
I'm
at
a
Wallahlah.
Telemo. I know all about that.
Vala's just like staring at Vandal like,
And you would never say it. It's just a passing thought, and you wouldn't want someone's feelings.
like
to be
like
hurt.
what? What would be example of thing you might say that might hurt, very close personal friends' feelings?
I don't want to hurt my friends' feelings, Valla,
Right, but
so I'm
know,
not
if
gonna say anything.
if you wanted to give example, so everyone here can learn.
Okay, sometimes, when I'm tired and there's conversations that are going around that don't really concern me, but I'm a little grouchy, I might think not charitable things about the people who are talking, which
Like what?
isn't a reflection on them, it's a reflection on me. I'm grouchy and I need to go to sleep.
We don't understand that either. We voice our opinions when we are tired. We say we are tired and then we walk away.
Yeah, it's great. Wish I could do that.
Yeah, it would be because we are roommates.
Look, I really care about you, Valla, and I'm never gonna tell you, oh, you know, you're talking to me, and if I'm gonna say this to you, I'm gonna say, oh, you know, I'm really tired and I'm getting a little grouchy. Let me go to sleep because I don't want to
Oh.
hurt your feelings.
Right, so you would not be thinking uncharitable thoughts about me. This is some hypothetical.
Hypothetical. Completely
Hypothetical.
hypothetical. No,
Got it.
never about you.
Oh. Okay. Good.
Yeah. It's not like...
Vandil, I promise I'll always, maybe I can come up with like an alert or an alarm. Cam, take this down. We're gonna come up with an alarm that we set off every time we're gonna test the object, and then everyone will know very loudly before we test the object.
Wait.
Oh.
Wait. What about something a little less loud? Because then we won't know when you finished unless you sound the alarm again, but that might be confusing. We might think you're starting another one. What if there was like some sort of
What about different
like,
tonal frequencies?
light
Oh, light. Okay.
that was on when you were
Yes. Like
doing your
a safety
science.
experimentation room warning light.
Yeah.
Okay, but you also want to be pre-informed. So
yeah,
you
could just tell me with your words, right? We're all about communication on this vessel.
That's
we
true.
all-
Yes.
You all apparently share your thoughts pretty freely, and I'm
Yes.
the only one who doesn't.
Yes.
That makes you special, though, Vandil.
Yes, and Valla has told me bondage is good.
Valla, we're gonna have to have a conversation about that later.
I would love to have a close personal conversation with you about bondage.
I was trying to...
Anyway.
Are you setting me up?
You started it!
True. I blame no one but myself.
Yeah, you know what? We'll do that with the door closed and everything.
Great.
And not when our alert light is on.
Right, yes.
So we just communicate verbally.
Mm-hmm.
Verbal communication
Alright.
is very important.
Yes.
All right, so preparatory communication beforehand, as well as the light to signify while it is ongoing,
Mm-hmm.
and also, Cam, get some shots of Vandal's head. We will start working on a skull covering sort of mechanism to offset to the device.
I appreciate that.
Maybe like a lead hat.
That seems heavy.
We are fond of tinfoil.
There is no guarantee that lead is the object that will work in antithesis to our new object, so we will have to see what will actually...
True.
Could be something very
when
interesting.
I was little, I read many stories about the magic, and I mean, it may just be scientific, but lead is a good way to halt magic.
Yes. We will try lead as one of our first objects.
Do we keep any alcohol on this vessel?
We do. Somewhere.
I probably have some in my lab.
Not rubbing alcohol, drinking alcohol.
Oh.
Oh. We aren't sure then. We can't we're too tiny to drink that.
No. One bug and a bug.
One drunk bug.
It would have to be
one bug.
onesie.
Stumbling around.
Something out like this, isn't it?
Oh.
It's just like one bug, like one section out of, and like every time they move, there's like legs behind.
Come on. Back into our face.
Gently walks into a wall. You know, it's fine.
Oh boy.
Well, we are content with that. Now we must resolve the Vandil family situation.
Oh.
We don't know what to do. We will defer to you wholeheartedly.
So I'm not currently with my family because I chose to currently not be with my family. Right?
Is your family in possession of a lot of argent?
Yeah.
And all the people from your home planet who are not the gladiators have a lot of money.
So perhaps this would, if you just want to like see them super casual, just say hi, and then Captain can uh make sales, do business.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a really great business opportunity because all those people probably have a lot of money that they don't need.
Mm-hmm. We agree.
And we could use. We have a list on the fridge of all the improvements we'd like to make to this vessel.
That's true.
Alright, if my parents ask, we're super cool heroes who do hero shit. And y'all are all super cool.
That's an accurate description. Right? Well, right? Well, right. Mm-hmm.
I think those were subjective words, but if they are things you like, then yes.
All right. Cool heroes who do cool hero shit. Got it.
I mean, technically, only one of us is warm-blooded, I believe. So cool is not inaccurate.
Okay, and if we could just... You do great, Wallahlah, all the time. If we could just not give any specifics about that cool hero shit, I'd appreciate that.
Sure.
Okay. So, are y'all heading over there then?
Go and visit.
Cool. Do you want to evaluate the pieces of the teleporter to get the monetary values?
Please.
All right. These are kind of just like what you can guess based off of stuff. Let me find that. So basically it's fallen apart, but you can still kind of gather pieces to guess as to what they would be. Mm-hmm. Basically the platform would be around like 3K.
Okay.
Very high quality materials. The kind of whatever the tube casing was, like that transparent casing that the person would step inside to be, it's a little marked up, so normally it would be around 3K as well, but it's been brought down to 2 because of the damages.
Okay.
There are different wires and wire casings and tubings and the such, which all go to 1K per, and there's like 12 different of those pieces basically, so that's 12K in total. And within the center of all of this, you do find what is essentially this cube. Those of you who have watched the Avengers, this is a Tesseract X thing. You don't know what it does, but you assume by placement and its connections to the rest of the thing that this was probably what was powering it, or what would be powering it. You have no idea how much this is worth,
Gotta get it appraised first.
But you think like 20K easily.
Oh my god.
Because this is not plasma based, as far as you can tell, which is interesting. Or it's not obvious. It's not an obvious plasma based thing. Like most power cells that exist within the Olaxis Galaxy are kind of similar. Like every battery kind of looks like a battery.
Mm-hmm.
This does not look like a battery. This looks weird, say the least. So you would have to do way more assessment on it, basically, to really understand it. But this is just from your cursory looks.
Okay. Oh,
So
we are.
that's how much you can ballpark.
We think we could bargain. We can. What's the word when you like
Barter?
Barter. We think we can barter for perhaps more.
Oh.
Yes. All right. So.
Gary thought all by itself.
All right. So, with this and with the idea in mind that you're going to go sell these, at least part of them, to the people over where Vandil's parents are. Max has the coordinates. It's only a couple days out, which is odd. Again, it's why Max was confused. Normally, you'd only be able to do contact with ships if they were within, less than a few hours away, really. And this is really far range, which kind of weirds Max out. Not like they'll admit it, but they're weirded out by this. So let me draw these real quick. This is so basically about here.
Oh, let me go over to the map. There it is.
Right
Oh.
here.
That's not
Oh.
close.
Ping ping.
Yeah, I mean each of these squares is like a day.
Oh my
Travel.
gosh.
Wow.
Really?
So you just came off of Cyprit because you were
Right.
just running away from there. So it's weird. It's weird that they can communicate that far.
Oh.
That's some rich people shit for sure.
Mhm.
Excellent.
All right. So you head on your way over to, from what the coordinates told you and the information told you, this ship is called the Stella Nova.
Stella Nova.
And I think it is as you cruise through, and it's a fairly smooth sailing. You see the glints of metal first before you even really see the ship itself. But as you get up close to it, this is a huge. It's more a space station at this point, except equipped. You can tell that it's equipped for travel, rather than most space stations, which are pretty static in its space. Like this is meant to go places. Again, equivalent of a cruise ship here, essentially is what we're talking about. And the outside of it too is it's even glitz there, where it's this goldish color on the outside, but it has that opalescent sheen that you can see of a shield that's been put up around it. So as you see that layer of color overlaid on top of this gold hulled ship. You can
Sorry. Speaking of shields, do we need to do anything active to repair ours?
I was on our ship page,
Like,
and I was gonna ask that as well.
Yes, I do believe that you're gonna have to like actually rearm the ship. Essentially,
okay.
it's kind of that action. So
Is that something we can do over the time while we're traveling, or is it something we have to go into like a spaceport to do?
no, I think you can do that. You can do that via travel. That's
Okay.
like you haven't taken any damage to the ship. That would require more intensive
Okay.
work, but um, for what you're doing right now, it's not that big of a deal. So you're able to rearm as you wish. So that would be resetting. That would reset the shields. And if you had used the goop, which you did not use the goop, that would have also reset that.
Forgot about the goop.
Luckily,
The
we didn't have
goop.
to use the
Yeah,
goop.
you didn't have to use it, which is good. Cause that's a bad. You know you're having a bad time when the goop comes out.
Right.
I was
We did
near
not
the
get
goop.
stabbed by the breacher ships.
That's
Oh
right.
God.
That's right.
I was prepared to use the goop if we needed to use the goop, but I'm glad we didn't have to goop.
It's always good when
Right.
you don't got a goop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we've been saying goop way too much now.
Sound like a real word.
So, you can easily see the where things would be docking. I think you see a couple ships moving in and out of it already. These are, again, more similar to your ships. They're transport ships, and you assume these are like supplier ships to kind of make supply runs for this very, very large ship. Makes it easier to, in a way, it's more expensive, but makes it easier to just hire out supplies rather than having to stock up on everything and keep it on board all the time. So
So outraged. That's like a flagrant flaunt of wealth.
oh yeah,
I'm reading a lot of
absolutely.
sci-fi books and like a lot of like ones that are really focused on like the fantasy realism of working in space, like belters and the expanse and like spacers and what that's like.
Uh-huh.
So like it weighs down your ship to carry all that, but like that's so wasteful. You now have to employ and stock and like pay for all the gas for all of those. Zev'xo is outraged.
Yeah, so it is like all of holy shit, like there's like a lot of money that are involved here.
But also opportunities.
Yeah. So, you can head over, and as you begin to reach, there is no real like stopping of you to dock. But as soon as you do, I think as soon as you kind of hear the clicks of metal connecting with each other, the bridge and the wicked wallaby connecting, there is a not Max's voice, but there's an automated voice that comes across. It says, "Welcome to the Stella Nova. Can you state your identity number, please?"
Would I have one?
So you know these ships well enough. You've grown up kind of
Yeah.
around this type of situation. What they're looking for identity number, they think that you're a service ship.
Oh my god. Mm-hmm.
And they're if you can it's a smart
Name
enough
drop my
thing.
parents
Where you
instead.
can kind of just talk
Uh-huh.
and
Just gonna name
drop
my
yeah
parents.
name drop your parents. It's probably gonna get you in.
Yeah. Oops. Yeah. Oh gosh. The way to do this would be to say my entire name.
Oh, yes. Okay, everybody
Yes!
buckle in.
Okay.
I'm ready.
This is Eranze Amian Davi Azil Siele Vandil Zaiv, and I'm guests of. I didn't come up with my parents' whole name, so.
You just need to. I think
Yeah.
you need a familiar name, which I believe I actually have that down somewhere. I think it's Ciela Emian.
Yes, that would be one, and the other one would be Siele Davi.
Cool. Yeah, Ciela Davi. And so
Well, Ciela, and then my
Ciela.
dad would likely be Cielo,
Okay, cool.
because it has
Ooh.
gender.
Yeah, they have like femme mask and
Yeah.
gender neutral. Cool. Yeah, so you drop those names, and there's a pause, and you hear, "Welcome aboard the Stella Nova, Ciela Vandil. and you hear that hiss of the depressurization as the door opens, leading to a what looks like a hallway on a like doesn't look like a ship hallway like this again in flagrant displays of wealth. This looks almost mundane in the sense that it almost like a building on planet side. Full with carpeting, like black carpeting, and again that gold to the walls, and soft glow of lights that light the way.
Okay, so let's do the thing. Let's do this thing.
All right. You step inside, and the door to the Wicked Wallaby closes, and you just hear, "Hi, how can I help you?" And you see a valet, of some form, dressed in a very suitable uniform, black and white. This particular one is it's a driftling, but because they've been around so much, driftlings are ever changing creatures, a species that change their form depending on who they're most around. So most of the time they kind of default to this mishmash of species, but this one has been around enough that they've taken on a much more look. Although you can see they have a few more arms than an normally would, an extra set around their torso, and their eyes are not quite the snake-like eyes that do, or they're more like kind of bug-like, similar more to Zev'xo's small bugs if they had been expanded out. So it's a little disconcerting because it's this kind of like very fractured, almost black eyes.
We immediately like them.
I'm looking for Ciela Amian.
Oh, of course. Right this way, please. And they'll kind of like do that little bit of a half bow. And in that sweep, I think there's a moment where they look over everybody. They pass over you pretty easily, Vandil. But
I'm wearing a three-piece suit.
You're wearing a three-piece suit, and also you seem to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
They're looking at the others, and definitely kind of taking that in for a moment.
This is interesting around here. Is there anything exciting worth touching? I think for me to put my feathers on. My feathers spread out in excitement.
I mean, like, as someone who works with stuff, like, the materials in here are incredibly high quality. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, even just touching it, you can feel that like craftsmanship to it, being very smooth. I do kind of just touch along it.
I am touch everything.
Do I look okay?
Of course you look okay. Do I look okay?
You always look okay.
Mm-hmm. So it's all okay.
All right. So you head into, as guided by the valet, you are guided into the ship proper. You go past, again, what you think are more utility rooms and hallways. So most of them are closed off to avoid any guests from walking in or seeing the mechanisms behind such fortunate. You did dock along the service level, so they assumed that this would be where you would be going. But they lead you to the center of this ship, essentially. And you can see this extremely large spiraling staircase that goes up for, I would say, around 4 stories. Upon which you can see you're immediately met with not this vibe. You're met with this one.
We're met with a vibe. Oh.
Oh no, is it a sexy vibe?
Uh-huh.
Oh no, oh
It's
no.
something.
We're getting into something, that's for sure.
We have already established it's canon my parents are swingers.
Oh no, this is bad. This is bad.
The lights in here are generally dimmer. They're not full brightness and in various different colors, painting the gold walls into this reds and blues and greens. And you can see a mixture of people of all different species. You can see, quite a few Eno in here, but you also see, stuff like you see a couple of Alvins in here. You also see a couple of Driftlings, although many of them are in that same uniform and valet outfit as the valet that had guided you here. And you also see a couple, Kithics, which are those large bug-like species. And everyone here is dressed up very nicely. And it's that vibe of, you would imagine this would be kind of a rave scene, but it's been slowed down and it's been made classy as all fuck here. As you look up the floors, the floor right above you appears to be nothing of note. Maybe some socialization that's happening over there. People that are just gathered.
Socialization.
There is no sexy time that's happening
Boo!
here.
Boo! Boo!
Not on screen, at least. Jeez.
Just vaguely off screen.
Vaguely off screen. The second
Eyes
floor.
forward.
Second floor. As you look up, you can hear the pings and sounds of machinery and games, like the clicks of the cracks of billiard tables, or the clinging of gambling machines. The floor above that you can barely see into it because of the angle, but this looks like to be tables and chairs, and maybe this is where people are eating. This appears to be a dining area of some form. And you can't tell what the top is. It's just too far off that way. The valet will lead you up past the first floor and into the second.
Vandil, for some reason I just feel like I'm wearing too many clothes. Is this correct? Am I wearing too many clothes? Should I take something off?
Oh, you look great.
I'm gonna just unzip my jacket. I mean, I'm wearing a tank top, but I just unzip my jacket.
Is this an important question? Do we all need to look a certain way? Do we look acceptable? And is the way that is accurate to this room?
We wonder this.
Just look at my friends while we're walking. You don't quite look rich enough, but it's fine.
I'm wearing a very expensive armor suit.
Hey, Cam and my smart slab are worth quite a lot, I'll have you know. The information alone intact
We should
within
take a group photo. Can Cam take a photo of
Cam!
us?
Yeah,
Here?
Cam starts swirling around. Cam, get us!
Zev'xo and just their fanny pack? Yeah.
So there's a group photo happening on the staircase, I assume.
Yeah,
You haven't really made it that far.
all around Vandil.
Is the valet with us too?
Yeah, the
Oh, yeah,
valet.
they get in here.
They're not getting there.
They're gonna need it. I will hug them into it.
Oh boy. They definitely try to do the I'm gonna stand off to the side and wait until you're done before.
I feel like Vandal's in the middle, just like
Standing there.
Yeah.
The face is
I want
perfect.
art. I want art in that face.
Okay. Yeah. So you are. After the group photo break, you're brought up again to this gaming floor. You see a variety of gambling, both automated machines and also tables of card dealings, and billiards and stuff. There's a full-on bar that's lines along one of the walls here, with a variety of multicolored drinks, which are being served. Not really like any money's being passed around, you can tell from this, but you can tell when people are gambling, or they use this card almost, credit system here. So basically, for anyone at home, this is a cruise ship meets Vegas situation, but for super fucking rich people.
This is another one where we need like a group. We need like a group thing of us all grooving to this music.
it's got a good groove.
Yeah, there's a reason I picked this vibe, because this is the vibe of this place.
A little loungy, but super like slightly funky. Not too
Yeah.
funky.
I'm feeling it.
Space Monte Carlo.
Yeah, it is Space Monte Carlo.
Monte Carlo in space.
Yeah, basically. There are, again, as you are walking past people, clearly everyone's dressed up. Clearly everyone looks comfortable here. But as you look closer at some people, you can definitely tell like some of these people are, they're overkill people. They have like pins of their logo and stuff like that. Because that's the thing you do here. Other people, a couple of them like look at you as you walk past, and there is something to it that is not a pampered rich person glare or glance. This is much harsher, as it appraises you very quickly.
Friends, be on your best behaviors, because I'm not responsible if any of you get shot, right?
No, I suppose I'm the one responsible if someone gets shot.
Were we advised to bring weaponry on board? Because I didn't really.
Look, if any of you are planning on getting shot, I think you should tell me now. To be fair.
I mean, luckily I always keep a personal shield on. That's this one over here. All my like tentacles have different like little jangly things on them, and I'm like, that's this one.
Well, it's just the jangliest little like aqua fluffs.
Yeah. I even have some jangles on my fluffs. Like just. I can't wear clothes. I have to have a lot of doodads. Okay.
I think it all will be. We'll be
Yeah,
fine.
we'll be fine. We're all adults. I think.
Yeah. Yes. 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 I unzip my jacket some more. Trying to
I
fit in.
Yeah.
Oh, this is getting too low. It goes too far.
It's a little too far. The valet leads you through this you know, organized chaos of this gambling room, leading you to a booth off to the side, upon which you see a few figures that are surrounded by this red plush velvet cushionings. One of them being who what does your mom look like, Vandil?
Yeah, Vandal. You know what? Because I'm Calico, I think my mom's also Calico.
Yeah. So you see another Calico, whereas Vandal has very loose, long hair. This has hair that's been kind of like tied up into an elaborate bun, kind of braided and into this hairstyle, and wearing a very sleek black pantsuit.
Is it a 3-piece though?
No, it's not a 3-piece. And across from her, you see a Kithik with a kind of greenish blue in coloring. You see this Kithik is wearing the equivalent of the fancier clothing that accommodates for each species, because they don't all have human-esque bodies to put things on. So kind of like draped over the equivalent of silks and the such, that are fastened almost toga-esque. And you can see like the badges, or the not badges, the brooches that pin it in place, shine under the light. And these two, and from here you can tell that one of them is a overguild pin to it, and they seem to be in conversation, as the valet stops at a respectful distance, so wouldn't overhear any potential business, and kind of incline their head towards you.
Quick question. Do the rest of us hear any potential business?
That's a good question. Let's
There is
let's
something
roll for
called
that.
perception. And I will use it.
Yeah, this is going to be a difficulty.
Tell me.
What difficulty is this gonna be?
Tell me about it, stud.
I think it's gonna be a difficulty 3.
Okay. Kienna increases it. Okay. I'll try it. A pass!
There you go.
Huzzah!
Okay.
That's
So
nice.
as you approach, and the valet kind of steps aside to head off. You can hear snippets of this conversation. It is difficult with the surrounding ambient noise of people chattering and laughing and gaming, and you hear this go, well, if all goes well, then kind of like checks the equivalent of like Apple Watch or whatever, on because I'm just gotta if everything goes well in around 6 hours, then we don't have to worry about that anymore. Off of our mind, you're finished, and we can get on with it. And the Kithik kind of nods their head. Right. Will you be attending or not? And she kind of puts up her hand and shakes her head. I think we'll be well represented over there anyways. I should be fine.
Where?
I think at this moment is when I step up and say, I'm sorry to interrupt. But,
I think there's a turnaround like, Vandil, it's so good to see you. And she's gonna stand up and she is going to hug you if you will let her.
Hi.
That's what she does when. That's what they do when I hug them too. Very good.
And I think she does like as she likes to go, she kind of like does this thing with her hands as she looks over to, not this, she just does this.
No, I hate it.
As she looks over to, oh, is this your crew?
Yes. Mom,
I've got tiny arms.
this is our daring pilot, Valla.
Valla Bralta, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Our amazing researcher, Wallahlah.
Or are we saying our full names? I'm Wallahlah Oodles Nizelas Telemo. It's nice to meet you. Hi, hello.
And the captain of the Wicked Wallaby, Zev'xo.
We greet you.
It is so nice to meet all of you. Of course, I would tell you to call me by my full name, but you're friends of Vandil. I'm sure you can just call me Ciela Amule. Totally fine.
We thank you.
And oh, Vandil, you should meet. And she kind of turns to the Kithic. Let me just get that spelling for you real quick.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Amian.
Notes. Amian. Yes, Ciela Amian. Thank you. Yeah. And she kind of gestures over to the Kithic, who stands up. And Kithics are again, they're this beetle-esque species, 6 arms, kind of roundish in shape, with 2 antennae who are there. And he kind of it does a little half bow as well, politely but not reverently, as one would do. Stella Amian goes, "This is Cree Mertailsot. We've been doing some business with him. He's been doing some really interesting work within communications, actually." And
Does this sound like bullshit? I say in out of character to my GM.
Does it sound like bullshit?
Uh-huh.
I mean, you could fucking
Could I
roll for it.
roll something?
Because I think
Okay,
we've
roll
got 2
some.
different lines of thoughts. Zev'xo is hyped at like
Oh, yeah.
communications? A business partner?
And I'm looking for just no good people everywhere.
No good people
The no
anywhere.
good people. You
Okay.
Disagree.
The
They
wrong
all seem
ship.
great.
Okay, this is gonna be difficulty 4.
What?
Okay, good. I'm glad. What do we think this is?
What do you think this is?
Ugh.
Nothing that I'm good at. What about knowledge? Does the name ring a bell?
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Huh. Awesome. We'll try this then. Pass, motherfucker!
Damn. Okay.
Not you, Kienna, just like general.
Yeah, I know.
You know.
So,
I love you. I love you.
yeah, I know. I love you too. You look over to them. You look over to him, and you look to the that badge again. And that does belong to the Bahiri Overguild.
Cool.
Bahiri, which is the Overguild that is in control of communications. They're the ones who basically craft that any communication device, which you might have. And they also created the Complanet, which is essentially the internet. So
Awesome.
you can tell that's correct.
Uh-huh.
But with that pass, I'll say that you have heard some rumors of someone somewhat like with a similar name, you think probably this person, who's had some dirty dealings, particularly dirty dealings with the, and let me check that name again. Love having so many notes for myself.
Don't just.
you've heard that they have criminal connections, and particularly for him, it's with the Valla mob.
A mob.
Yeah, a criminal family, and things are kind of coming together now as to like why some people seemed a little not business people around here.
Sure.
As you look around again, you're kind of realizing, okay, there's some like actual like criminals, like not petty criminals, like mob level.
This is the mob. We're in the mob.
Wait, whoa.
Petty.
Were you calling us petty?
No.
Yes. We are absolutely petty criminals.
100%.
This is above our pay grade.
What we have in our belly? Come on now.
I think that Valla is like paying attention, like obviously, but in the moment that she like recognizes and like looks back the way they came, like down the stairs, and like little flashes. I almost imagine like you can see like the
wheels
neurons,
turning.
the neurons like firing in
like
different
all
parts
of,
of her brain.
those like typical like neuron firing diagrams.
So like her hair is lit up like fireworks are going off inside, and she's just smiling though.
That's very interesting. I'm sorry to interrupt your business conversation. I should have phoned ahead.
Oh no, not at all. We were just finishing up anyways, weren't we? And she looks over to Mattel Sot, and he kind of gives like a nod. Just was. I will leave you to have a conversation with your daughter. Seems like it's been a long time. Or child, sorry. It's been a long time.
It certainly has. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
Have fun
And
at
he-
your thing later.
Tips Fedora.
As you say that, he looks to you for a brief moment
Incredibly blank face.
and then walks away.
I'm following him. I'm definitely following him. You don't
Okay.
really hear me move, so like I can keep up. I'm just a little buzzy. It's fine.
Tail is like full puff right now. It's fine. It's all fine.
Is Zev'xo going by themselves? Is anyone joining
Oh,
Zev'xo?
I'm talking to Mama Vandil. I know that's not her name. Ciela Amian.
I'm not sorry for putting two A sounds right after each other.
I'm nailing it.
You're doing great. Yep.
Haven't tried it with the accent yet, but we'll get there.
What's Wallahlah doing? Is Wallahlah hanging out here?
I feel like
It makes it harder to twist my truths when Wallah's
Yeah.
around.
that's why I wasn't gonna follow you. I don't think it makes sense. Like
Okay,
I honestly
totally.
don't think it makes sense for
Here.
Wallahlah
I just want to know
follow.
who's where. Given point.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess they're just staying with the majority of the group, unless anything particularly shiny shows up to distract them away.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Oh, that's a good question. Do you have the orb with you? Or is it?
I don't
on
think
the trip?
Isn't the orb quite large? Like how large? I thought it was-
It's like sizably this for you. Like
Yeah, I don't think I
you.
brought it. We haven't tested it enough for it to make
Okay.
sense. I think for me to have brought it in. So I just but Cam is definitely with me, and I definitely have. But I'm keeping my smart slab kind of low, like it's like cradled in one of my like low down like arms, so that it's not like up. Because I've discovered that some people don't like that, so I kind of have it down, and I'm like dee, 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 and like Cam is like kind of hovering like near my feathers. Maybe they could even hide in my feathers.
just kind of two googly eyes hanging.
Yeah,
Like
hanging out of like just this little thing pokes out.
Alright. So, Ciela Amian is going to invite you to sit down at the booth with her. Will you join? Okay. And as you all sit down, she kind of, even without like looking over, she like beckons with her hand as a waiter comes by. Please, please, you must have something to drink. I'm sure your journey here has been quite long. A couple of days, it seems.
We were surprised by the long range communication.
Oh, isn't it wonderful? I mean, it's just the technology these days really, really quite advanced.
Truly, mind-blowing. How's everything?
Oh, you know, just business as usual. And the waiter comes up now, and is like looking expectantly, as if, you know, looking for you to order a drink or something.
I think Vandil's gonna gesture at, like, whatever Ian's drinking. As, like, yeah, the same thing, whatever. Like,
Are you ordering for everybody else too?
Yes. I'm gonna make the point and the gesture to be like, just water. And I point at Wallahlah. And this, I think, is when I noticed that Zev'xo's gone. Fine, it's all fine. Everything's gonna be fine. It's fine.
Yeah, and the waiter will kind of incline her head and head off, returning with drinks for everybody, before disappearing back into the crowd.
Business has been good?
Oh, you know, just always a busy time, but your father and I thought we would just spend some time taking a little break, but business always follows, and it'd be a good opportunity to speak with some people that we weren't able to talk to recently.
It's always busy. Yeah, so
So, are you thinking of, you know, what we last spoke about you helping to take on some of the business?
Are you thinking about that, Vandil?
I always contemplate what you say very seriously. I still don't know if I'd be the right person for the business. I don't have your acumen.
Well, that's something that you can learn. I mean, you would be put in a fairly starter position, of course, where you could shadow myself or your father for a little couple years or so, and then, you know, be given some of your own responsibilities under our supervision, of course, and then soon enough you'll be able to have your own branch, and later on, once your father and I feel like doing something different, then you know, can certainly take over some of the more main operations, or of course, if you find a good enough deal, you can sell the business. That's no big deal.
What is your line of work?
My family business does a lot of things. We're very entrepreneurial.
I think like for the longest time, your mom's kind of like waiting expectantly for you to like fill in the blanks, because she's like, you know this, but if you're starting to stall,
I'm absolutely stalling.
yeah, it's basically, we do have a lot of different branches and different things, but as all Seattle House people do, we mostly focus around magic technology, looking at over the governance of such things within our spaces. why Aranez has been such a great place for us. Lots of important things for people to be keeping track of when it comes to who has what in terms of magic abilities and the such.
A land of opportunity.
Sorry, you keep track of who has magic abilities?
Not that difficult. Well, we don't do just that. We create the tracking systems for such things. Make sure that we know who has what devices. We develop out all of those, certain communication systems, such as this one, seeing if those would be useful for us, or, acquiring other smaller potential businesses, and kind of like looks over in the direction of where the Kithik had just left.
But why would you track? Like, what would be purpose of tracking?
Oh, well, knowledge is very useful for these types of things, and as you know, magic has its uses, of course, and for some people, they misuse that. And so we just make sure that it's all on par here, especially when you're dealing with the gladiatorial stadiums. You don't want someone to get up into their own head about what they can and can't do, of course.
Of course.
Valla's like cheeks are just like bing, bing, bing. Oh, Kienna, I would like to try and keep my cool because that I don't want to go into a hole. I don't want to go into my socialist spiel against Vandil's mother necessarily.
The socialist people is my favorite thing.
So, what do we think that is? A suave?
It might be a decorum.
It might be decorum.
That's good too. Great. Good.
This is. I kind of want you to tell me what this difficulty is.
I think I
So,
think
like, on a
3.
scale, like, okay, cool. It's moderately difficult for
Yeah.
you to do this. Okay.
Hey, tonight.
Dale.
You are fired tonight.
Yeah, perfect, wonderful. Vandal doesn't have to have an existential crisis.
Nope.
We're
nope.
cool. We're fine.
I think I like put my arm like around Vandil, even though I don't like it, but I just squeeze a bit with my strong crystal hands.
You know what? Vandal is gonna accept this because it's better than anything that could have happened.
Sure.
I know my gap year hasn't been. I don't want to come back.
There's a long pause as your mother just takes a sip of her drink. And we're gonna cut over to Zev'xo.
Those little wallaby hands up too.
Zev'xo, you are tailing behind this Kithik Silo Mertailshot, who seems to be kind of going through the crowds, pausing a few times to say hello to people in that way that rich business people do. Was extremely like, oh, hello, how are you doing? But a lot of like shaking hands and like patting.
Like, they shake like multiple hands at once.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So envious. So envious.
It's like, yeah, it's definitely like the two arms on each side that kind of shake hands.
Yes.
It's definitely like that. Oh, I'm only here to say hello, but obviously I'm gonna stay here longer to talk to you. Kind of situations. Are you tailing close behind, or are you trying to keep your distance and be subtle?
No, gosh, I don't know what that means. We are just tailing close behind. We wanted to talk to them relatively open. We aren't often concerned about outside ears when we are merely talking business.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. So as I think
Sorry,
there's
Vandil.
there's a break in that hello, and he heads over towards the stairs, and this is where you can kind of have a breather opening to
I think I just walk in front of him, you know? Does he run into me at all, kind of disrupting my shape?
I think it's doesn't quite bump into you. I think it's like just before. And you go, hello, you were
Hello, we greet you. Really gotta look up to see you.
Yeah.
yeah. Can I help you?
In fact, you absolutely can. We are friends of Celia, and then they're just gonna mumble the rest of the name because me and Zev'xo forgot it, so that's fine.
That's just how it is.
Mm-hmm. And we think that you would make the perfect business partner for a proposition that we have. And we understand that you are in communications. We might have some wires and tubing that could greatly benefit your industries.
I think there's just kind of like a pause and like a look. Are you trying to pawn something off on me?
Ha! Hardly. We possess some incredibly rare and dangerous artifacts, and we have them hidden on a storage case off planet in a system not too far away, but we would like to offer you a opportunity to claim these goods. Is this like a... I'm looking at my
This
character
feels
sheet.
like a roll of some form.
Yeah.
Could mention that like those other guilds that were like interested in them. They were like the one with the Cosma, my big
Yep.
brain, and the other one,
Wesh.
Wesh.
Yeah.
Wesh.
We will mention that. Especially Wesh. They've got a Mr. Elfskin that
Oh,
we
yes.
don't necessarily want to deal with. We think you, and we will look you up and down in all of your Kithic glory, you would be a better partner to form this contract with.
Okay. Yeah.
no, social.
That's good stuff, though.
Well, I'll have you know that I have an 8 in deceive, so...
Ooh.
But hold up, like, is this truth? Like, this is not even deception. I mean, we are just being truthful here.
You're
Hey,
just like,
you are you're doing that fun thing where you're like skirting the truth to
Yeah,
to
we
convince.
did lie. You know, the goods are mostly in our belly, so like...
That's not where you're
Mostly
coming.
in your belly, but it's true. We do not want to work with Wesh.
Okay. This.
Yeah, what do we think the...
This is like such a two truths and a lie version
Yeah.
of like selling things.
Yeah.
It's how you do business, you know?
Okay.
I mean, like, we name dropped some pretty solid names, so if
Yeah,
we
you did.
ourselves aren't very convincing, which I understand, we often aren't.
Yeah, but you did name drop some people. So I'm gonna drop it down from a 4 to a 3.
yeah.
It could have been originally gonna be a 4.
Yeah.
Alright, we said 4. We are nervous. No, wait, we said 3 and I still
We
hit
said
4.
3.
Ah!
I'll let you re-roll that just for
Redo.
Yeah, because you're misdirecting here.
Yeah. Got this.
We are worried.
Nope.
Ugh.
Oh,
Yikes.
Do I still get to mark that off in my dice
Yes.
though?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
well,
you rolled the die.
I
You
did.
Yeah.
it.
We just weren't very convincing.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Oh no, we are nervous.
Yeah, you are nervous about this. There's something, not just his size, but there's something to his demeanor that shifts when you mention the other overguilds.
Get hotter?
Particularly, I'll give you as the compromise. Particularly the Wesh overguild.
Okay.
There's something that even on this insectoid phase that kind of, if he could narrow his eyes, he would, kind of situation. I think you're better off finding someone else. We're quite all right with supplies.
May we remain in contact? We're gonna like, you can see like the tremble go through like the wave of bugs.
Yeah. No, I think it's quite all right. And she's gonna walk past you.
Swerve.
I'll beat him up.
We're just gonna be continuing. We're still frozen. Like it's the embarrassment and the shame of being rejected.
I will destroy this kid. Just point me at him, Captain. Beat him up.
So, cutting back over to this fun, tense conversation with Vandil and their mom. I think after she finishes taking the sip of her drink. You know what? I don't think there's a conversation to be having right now. It's and she smiles, but in that kind of very polite, I'm around your friends and I'm being polite because your friends are here kind of way. Just really, I should show you all around here. This is your first time being on the Stella Nova, is it not?
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, come on, and she'll stand up. Even if you haven't finished your drinks, that's being left behind, whatever's left. As she starts to kind of take you around. Zev'xo, you can see the group. It's pretty easy to spot Valla, so you can kind of see the group starting to head off, and you can join up casually.
Soups cash. Wait, are wallabies marsupials?
Yes, they are.
Soups cash.
Yeah, because they have a pocket. Because they have a pouchy.
Except for Zev'xo, it's just inside.
Vast space.
All
All the
pocket.
space.
100% pocket.
We lose a lot in there. A lot.
Things go in and they never come out.
We have some very cool weapons that we have just lost in the years.
Yeah, just somewhere in there.
It's somewhere. It's cool.
As Zev'xo joins us, I fall back so I can talk to them. Captain, something very interesting is going to be going down in about 6 hours to do with that very attractive Kithuk that was just here.
We have determined that we don't like that Kithik. They don't want to be business partners with us. Who wouldn't want to be business partners with us?
It does not make sense. They obviously must be planning something nefarious. Oh, did you know that this place is crawling with space mobsters?
We will look. We feel at home.
Oh. 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 This has got a little glitch. Little glitches happening.
Not turning
404
over.
Valla.
We see some sparks. Some flashy lights.
Oh no, Valla's having a "Are we the bad guys?" moment.
Huh.
Do I recognize anybody here? Is there one, maybe a driftling that I've known from a previous encounter?
Okay. Well, that's a.
Yeah, maybe they've made it, and like, I obviously haven't.
Yeah, sure. Sure. We'll say that you can recognize somebody here. Okay, tell me what they are. What's going on here with this driftling?
Driftling, yeah.
Cool.
Their name is Spaghetti Tony.
God, I love them already.
Spaghetti for all their arms, truly. I think Tony was their given name. But like, we want to just like, as soon as we see them, like, oh, we recognize, we are absolutely at home here. We recognize, we greet you, Spaghetti.
There's this pause as this tripling. I'm sorry, I'm dying a little bit over Spaghetti Tony is.
I need to know everything about Spaghetti Tony. Please come out with the backstory for them immediately, because I will be asking. There will be a test after.
God damn it.
Fight with like Rigatoni Rob?
Oh my god. Oh, I can't.
There are 2 different mob syndicates here.
Messy, you know?
Yeah, it gets really messy.
They get lost in the sauce a lot.
No!
I was gonna say it's really saucy.
Oh, good.
It's a saucy then.
Okay, we can't be noodling about.
I will shut this stream down.
Okay, so Spaghetti turns around. Spaghetti's driftling form right now is interesting. They have a head of a Zev'xo, which is one of those slug-like creatures.
Oh, cool.
So their head is Zev'xo-esque, and their body is Kithic-esque.
Yeah.
With very distinctly legs and tail. Really fun mishmash species. Let us go and smush together.
Beautiful.
And they turn and I'm gonna say they also have some tentacles because Spaghetti makes sense. So they have like the tentacles of gleans.
I was gonna ask if they were glean. Yeah, they got some glean.
They've got glean arms. And as they turn, there's kind of like they look this direction and then they have to look down. Like as a pause, like, hey, Zev'xo.
We greet you. It has been such a long time, and we commend your success.
Yeah, it's been done a lot of stuff since we last met. You still doing your ring of things?
I'll pat my pouch. We are.
I think Vandil, your mom kind of politely pauses as all this is going down. As this conversation with Zev'xo and Spaghetti Tony is going on. So all of you are partial to this conversation in some way, unless you do not wish to be.
I'm just trying to think if there's any way to find out what's going on later, but I don't think so.
You don't think Spaghetti Tony would have some information that
They might if we can distract Mama Vandil, which is not what I'm calling her. I'm so sorry. That's not
It's fine.
her name.
It's perfect. Love it.
It's
It works.
Fiala.
your friends make names for your parents, and it's just like, I don't love it, but hey, what choice do I have?
What?
One of those things where like I personally refuse to call like my friends' parents by their first names. So
Totally.
like Mama Vandal got it.
It's great. No, that's actually a really good idea. So maybe I will, while obviously Zev'xo and Valla are always on the same page, so I will distract Mama Vandal while Zev'xo is getting very important communication from this Spaghetti Tony. Wow, that's a mouthful.
It was wonderful.
So
Spaghetti Tony.
yep.
Spaghetti Tony.
So I will distract Mama Vandal by asking all about what she is wearing, which I assume is not a lot, but like jewelry and oh, what's that over there? And We're turning Italian because of the fucking pasta.
Spaghetti Tony.
Spaghetti Tony. Mama Vandil. Damn it.
Okay, I'm gonna need a roll here.
Yes.
From somebody to do this destruction.
I think Vandal's actually kind of having a sulk right now, so not gonna be very helpful.
Yeah. Well, Wallahlah.
I could
Sup to
try
us?
and help. All those drinks came over, and Wallahlah was like, hey, excuse me, and just like they were trying to keep small to themselves, and now they got really big, and they're like, excuse me, this water, can I have one with more plankton in it? This one's a little plain.
Yes.
It's a little, I prefer a lot more detritus in my water when possible. That's what I enjoy. If that is that. Sorry, Valla, did you need something?
No.
Does this help you at all?
This helps me.
Yeah, it's dropping the difficulty essentially.
Yes.
Which is it's gonna drop from a 3 to a 2.
Hey, that's nice.
This water's just so clean. I don't know why you would want such clean water.
Water
Gross.
needs more detritus.
I need more detritus. Okay. What do we think? Presence, perform. Feeling one of those. They're very different die types, but it's fine.
What do you?
I mean, I want the one I have more likelihood of succeeding. I want Mama Vandal to like me.
Then use that one.
I'll use that one. The presence one.
Yeah.
Pass.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you strike up this fascinating conversation about what she's wearing, about whatever else, and I think Vandal, you're going to be able to hear Zev'xo's conversation going on as this is all going on, and you're kind of sulking, having a sulk, as Zev'xo and Spaghetti Tony have this combo. What's your goal here, Zev'xo, for talking with Spaghetti Tony?
I want to learn about any nefarious, or excuse me, we would like to learn about any nefarious events that might be occurring in 6 hours time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think as you're kind of having this conversation, and you mentioned that there might be something going on in 6 hours time, they kind of tilt the head as if trying to like think, and you kind of see again the Z-Boy head. It's not like
It doesn't have like a joint.
There's like a twist to it.
Oh
almost.
yeah.
Cause slugs.
Slugs.
And kind of, don't, and kind of hunkers down to your size, I think. So it's like this like fun little squat that's going on, with this driftway. You didn't hear from me, but heard some people talking about it. Seemed like some sort of a big deal going on. Maybe even an auction. Ain't sure. But seems like it's an invite-only kind of situation, and kind of it looks around again. It's like the big wigs. I mean, I've made it big, but not that big.
We understand. We are grateful. We are so happy. Look at you. We are so happy to see you. You must have two new arms and Spaghetti Tony. We are grateful.
And like I think several arms come and like pat you on the arms, gentle enough because they know that you're basically just bugs put together. So it's like this kind of like
smush them. Please don't smush us.
Yeah, so you don't smush or just like push your form in. Like it's just very like fairly gentle pats. They're like, well, if you're gonna be around until then, you can. I'm gonna be up in my room, I think, for a bit. But you can always call me up, and gives you their room number. And you know that's the 4th floor. Appears to be all the rooming situation.
We would be honored. We would love to talk business with you again.
I mean, I'm sure you've got some interesting stuff. I always do.
pants belly. And then we'll look
Right.
nervously back at everybody else to make sure this is still okay.
Yep. Conversation still going on. Vandil, you overheard all of this as well, so.
I have a lot of questions because I didn't hear about this thing.
The
It's
beginning
fine.
part, right?
Yeah.
Fine. This is all fine.
And
It's fine.
Spaghetti Tony will kind of like pat you on the back again, Zev'xo, and I've got to get back to my game. I'm on a winning streak. And like kind of starts turning around to
We
the
wish you luck.
to the gambling table. As you start heading further into the ship. And actually, I think that's about time for us tonight. As we end out our episode today on the Stella Nova and a auction that might be happening in about 6 hours time. I'm sure that's fine.
It's fine.
That's
Nothing
probably
It's
fine.
fine.
Nothing to.
suspicious
No.
there.
Nothing to wreck.
Nope.
No.
It's fine. It's all fine.
Mm-mm.
All right.
Fine.
Everything is so fine. It could not be.
Having a bad time. That's what we're doing right now. We
You're on a
are.
cast. You're on Monte Carlo, the ship. How could
Yeah,
you
Yeah,
be
but
having a
it's
bad
terrible
time?
here. Look how sterile their water is.
It is
God.
so sterile. You are correct. Just
It's like basically distilled. It's the worst.
it's absolutely distilled, actually. Nail on the head.
All right, let's go around and meet our wonderful cast tonight. Tell us who they are. We can find them on the internet. Any thoughts, feelings about today? Let's first go in reverse order. That would be B.
B
Hi, B.
goes first.
Ooh, the pressure. Hello! My name is B. You can find me on Twitter as @B_Zelda. My pronouns are they, them, as are the wonderful captain that I played. Today was really good for them, you know? Zev'xo was rejected, and that hurt all of their feelings, except maybe like 50 odd bugs that are pretty like used to rejection, and they handle it really well for us. That definitely stung them. You know, they're used to making just wonderful business deals, and turns out when you aim too high, it hurts that much more falling down. But I think we are looking forward to this auction and what business it will bring us.
Yep. I'm sure it will be
It'll be great.
fine.
So
Mhm.
great.
It'll be fine.
Nobody's scary there. Nobody at all.
No, it's not absolutely crawling with mobsters.
Not like you're
Literally.
just
Literally crawling.
casually where mobsters are. You know.
Ah,
That was
we are not worried.
that was the best. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. We're in like a mob speakeasy swinger pleasure barge.
Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
Yep.
So good.
This is what we made.
No, playground for the rich and criminal.
Good.
It's
Good.
It's all fine.
Okay. Whew, boy. This.
Moving on.
Moving on. I think that's Sam next.
I'm Sam. You can find me at Sam Andamiel. My pronouns are they or she. The next time you can see me isn't next Tuesday, which you'll see me next Tuesday right here, but over on Jess' channel on Saturday we'll be playing Heart, where we have a weird dog situation going on, and we're probably gonna resolve that. It's gonna be fine. I played Vandil, who is having a bad day and is not looking forward to any of the explanatory conversations that are gonna happen, specifically with Valla, who's going to have a lot of questions and feel really hurt that none of this was brought up earlier. We already know. Oh, also the bad conversation with Mom. It's going to be fine. It's all going to be fine. It's fine.
Having a good time here.
Having a time. Sam's having a great time. Vandal's having a terrible time.
It all balances out. It's all good.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. All right. And let's go over to Jess.
Hi, I'm Jess. You can find me at go_JG and all the places online. And here I play Wallahlah, and I love it a lot. Thank you so much for this game. So you can find me here on Tuesdays. You can find me over on my channel, twitch.tv/go_JG. Most other days of the week, quite honestly, doing a wide variety of video games and tabletop role-playing games, including this week we're back to Heart, like Sam said, which is very exciting. It's a really, really fun game, and we actually have a pretty great Roll20 setup on there too. We do Fiasco Fridays, indie game spotlights, as well as we have a Dark Matter space sci-fi game if that's something you're digging. We do that as well. But yeah, thanks so much. I love this game. Thank you for letting me just be a weird plankton eating tentacle creature.
I love her. I love
Nerd.
love them so much.
Just
Nerd.
could not comprehend that these were internalized thoughts from the object. Like literally had to have you spell this out to me.
Loved
That was so much fun.
It's so good.
But why don't you want them outside of your head?
I don't understand.
Want them inside your head. So good. Amazing. And I'm sure you won't get in any trouble with said device.
Not at all. No.
No.
Although that is the next step in the story process, actually. So I don't know if I'm in enough trouble yet. But yeah. Also, hey y'all, it's September, and you can sub to cool channels like this channel right here, and get like 25% off, 30% off. The longer you sub, the more discount you get. Just saying.
Yes, please do that. And thank you very much to everyone who has subbed today.
Thank you.
All right. Let's close out with our personal stuff and channel things. Lauren.
Congrats, polyamorous, on winning the giveaway. I am
Yay.
talking to them about Whisper right now.
Thank you so much.
Yay.
Thank you for joining, and thank you for everyone who donated to make that giveaway happen. We're like $50 away from our next one, so
Yes.
go do that. But Lauren, tell me, what about you?
What about me?
Personal things.
I'm Lauren. I'm that salty ginger over on Twitter. You can find me here running Pulp Cthulhu on Saturdays before we go raid Jess for Heart. That's Masks of Nyarlathotep at 9 a.m. Pacific. And then we're, obviously I'm here for the rest of our good channel goodness. Otherwise, I'm a professional GM with Magpie Games. I'm going to have some more one-shots of Bluebeard's Bride that are more Eastern-friendly times. Still running Vacant Hotel and Boarding School, which is my favorite. So those will be up at the end of September, which I'm super excited about. Otherwise, you can just catch me here for the time being. Yes.
Yeah. And I'm Kienna. I was your GM today. Y'all can find me over on Twitter at KiennaF. Best way to figure out what I'm doing. I come out the internet doing social roleplay things, streaming, writing, chatting, void. But I am generally here on the channel on Salty Free Games doing TTRPG stuff and video game things with my best friend Lauren. We'll close out the night with some quick channel things. First off, again, a wonderful thank you to our co-producers, our co-presenters, our sponsor, Roll20. They're the reason we were able to put on the show. They both on all different levels, and please go check out Burn Bryte. It's an incredible system, and it is so much fun. And you can get the entire starter pack for really easy setup with the starter adventure as well. So you should go and check that out. And a shout out to our other two sponsors, and that includes Dice Envy and Grinding Coffee Co. We love their stuff. They've we have their stuff.
Yes.
That's how much we love
Someone
it.
bought coffee tonight.
They
Thank
did.
You. Thank you for
very
buying
much.
coffee.
Thank you for buying coffee.
They're great.
It's good
company.
coffee. It is good coffee. So you're in for a treat there. Yes. And I think we hit our social goal, correct?
We did. Yes, yes,
Yay!
yes.
Speaking of all that stuff, if you ever missed an episode or want to rewatch one, we've got a YouTube channel, So to Speak Games, but we also upload the Burn Bryte Against the Stars series over on the Roll20 YouTube channel as well. So you can catch us both over there, and go subscribe to both of those channels because you get good content either way. And of course, please go and follow us over on Twitter. We announce when we go live for things, whether that's our regular TTRPG series or impromptu video game streams or whatever else. Or, as our social goal says, we have our poll now for the faction movements. Basically, you get to vote on what factions get to move forward in their schemes, and the consequences of it will be felt, not necessarily right away, but they happen in the background, and they slowly build up until things happen. So that will be open tomorrow at noon Eastern until Friday at noon Eastern for me to do my proper prep. So go and follow us so you can get on to that. We'll be back live on Saturday for Pokethoo, as Lauren has said. And Sunday.
We have a special guest on Saturday.
Yes,
Billy
we have
at Bill of the Forest is coming to play.
Yay!
One
Yeah,
of
so
my
we're gonna have a special guest, which is super exciting. On Sunday we'll be back with The Witcher Crimson Ash, which is awesome. Monday we will likely have D&D with our series Strange Invasion, and of course we'll be back here next Tuesday with another episode of Against the Stars, where we'll find out what the aftermath of hanging out in a mob-run Monte Carlo ship.
Aftermath? No. There couldn't be. That's not how this works. We don't know consequences.
It's just normal for Vandal. It's fine.
This is totally normal for Vandal. Everyone else, though, meh.
That's the rub.
All right. Let's get the heck out of here. Let's wait. Bye, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye.